Since the truck now runs and drives, it's time to move on to some cosmetic things. We have plans for a new dash pad, new carpet, and new door panels. As you can see, this passenger side, that's all brand new. But I'll tell you what, OER, you guys that make these panels, these are the worst fitting panels I've ever put on a truck. Some of the hardcore truck fans might notice there's a bunch of extra screws on these panels. This is really the only way to make them fit. So, a lot of the complaint I have is they don't fit very well at all. They're supposed to fit inside this little indent in the door, and they don't. They don't fit at all. You can see the gaps. The other thing is that the actual mounting surface on the back of the panel, you can kind of see it right here on this other one. You see how thick that is? Just from the top to the bottom inside here. It's twice as thick as the old panel, and the little nubs that you're supposed to put in here, they don't fit and they all break. Okay, so there's that problem. And then the other problem is, so if you line up these screw holes here, that screw hole doesn't line up. I had to drill a new one. And then, I mean, look how much off this window crank is. I mean, they're just straight up garbage. They don't fit in the indent. It's just wrong on all levels. They're the worst fitting panels I've ever seen on anything reproduction, which is all made in China garbage. I mean, look at the this is original factory trim. Look how much farther over this is on each side. I mean, who anyway, I'm not even going to bother to record my frustrations of putting that other panel on, because I know it's just going to fit the same straight up garbage that this one is. The owner of the truck said, hey, I bought them, we have them, just make them work. So that is them installed. They're made to work. They look decent from far away. If you weren't really paying attention, you wouldn't really notice how crappily they fit. What do you think, Nuda? What do you think about that seat? Does it smell real good? Get off this seat. Nuda. Get off of there. Come on. Get off. Crazies. But the door panel is basically done. It's time to move on to this carpet. As you can see, it has seen better days. It used to all be one color. Now it's brown and black. So I have carpet to replace it with. There's the other door panel. Let's see it on the other side. It's okay. They're okay. I'm not too happy with them, but it is what it is. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rip out there's an alarm, there's a police radar detector, and then there's the aftermarket radio. The owner doesn't want any of that stuff in here. I need a 12-volt source for the electric choke. So that needs to be taken care of. And it's easier to do it with everything out, especially this nasty carpet. So let's get this out. With the carpet out, you can see the ridiculousness that was this stereo system. I mean, all these wires on the floor, every single one of them is for this stereo. Anyway, I was kind of worried about the floors being rusty, but they don't look rusty at all. Maybe a little bit on that other side over that way, but I'm not going to pull up this deadener to really find out. I know the rockers will need a little bit of replacement right there, but for now, it's going to be good enough. This weather stripping is getting replaced, so it should be good. Now I have the incredibly fun task to trace down all these wires, wherever the heck they all go, and disconnect all of them. It's going to be glorious. And there's still no goodies underneath this carpet. There's a bunch of eggs from lizards. That's kind of neat. But zigzag, I don't know what that is. There's that. But vacuum it out and then start tracing wires. And I still need to run 12 volts to the choke as well. Alright, we're making progress. So here is pretty much all of the stereo that was in this truck that the owner doesn't want. I don't have the amp, so there's also an amp the size of about a phone book that goes in there. But this is just stereo wiring. I still have, well, here's part of the radar detector system. I still need to trace that down, get that taken care of. But all this mess was tucked behind the glove box and just absolutely awful. Here's a little closer view of the kind of stuff that's in this truck. So all these little connectors attached to wires like this, but I mean all these zip ties, and this is just a cluster of junk. I'm pretty sure this is the alarm stuff. That stuff's got to go. I'm going to start tracing it from the engine bay because there's an alarm horn up there. Luckily, these trucks are really simple. There's really not much to them. They already cleaned up the engine bay a bunch. I took that huge red power wire for the amp that was across the firewall. But if you look at, like for example, this, that's aftermarket and it's ugly and it's got to go. The last thing you want is something like this messing with your truck, making it not able to start, all that kind of stuff. So we'll start with this and we'll trace it back inside. I'm pretty sure this kind of stuff right here, that's all aftermarket too. We'll see once we get there. But pretty much anything in a wire loom like this, I feel like was added. I don't think GM at this point, they had these kind of looms. They had more like wrapped it up in tape kind of thing. So we'll get to there when we get to there. So here's one of the main reasons I hate these stupid alarm systems. You drill holes in your dash. So there's one hole here. They put a little switch thing here. But the number one thing I don't like is, you see this power? So this is purple wire, basically is responsible for making your starter run. And it runs through this stupid little box thing. How many times on this channel have you guys seen these boxes stop something from starting? Now, if I was to leave this alone and then it didn't work, whose fault would it be? Well, it would be mine. So I think it's best just to take the stuff out. To wire up the electric choke, it's pretty easy. This fuse box has a couple of wires that go to it that are basically, say, ignition. It says unfused, but you don't really need a fuse for your electric choke. But what you want to do is you want to find a 12-volt source that does not have power with the key off. With the key on, it has power, and then cranking, it also has power. Also, able to make sure the engine still cranks since we fixed that wire to remove this alarm system. But there's like 8 different choices because they had so many things feeding off this one wire. I'm probably just gonna I'm just gonna hook it up to where one of the other old ones was. Obviously, it worked before, so it'll work again. All of you guys up north are gonna hate you're gonna hate seeing this, but check this out. Look at that beautiful floor. Beautiful floor. Who knows what that is? Anyway, the whole entire floor is exactly like this. The only rust that it has is here in the corners, where a combination of carpet and weather stripping made it rust here. We were going to put the weather stripping in, but since it's all one piece, there's no reason to do it without fixing the rust first. And I don't think he's ready for that yet. So carpet it is. We're gonna put that in. Here's the old one, and I've laid out as a template. Hopefully the new one will be very similar. Fingers crossed. Another thing that the owner wants me to do on this truck is put in this brand new dash pad. As you can see, I've laid it up here in order to show me where it mounts on the dash. So there's these little studs that go through the top of the dash. And when they installed it, I think it's like the first thing they did, because I had to take out the glove box door, the radio, the vent, drop the steering column, and then also take the panel out in order to get to the little nuts that go on top of this. So I'm at the point now where I'm hoping I can take it out. But man, it's such a pain in the butt to do. But I'm very happy that I haven't put the carpet in yet or the seat in, because it would have been a pain to get this cluster out with the seat in it. So, you know, one thing at a time. But I'm hoping now with the cluster moved, I had to undo the speedo cable in order to get it out, and there's an electrical connection right here. Once that stuff's out, I can get my little wrench up in there, be able to pull the old one out, put the new one in. There'll be one thing checked off the list. There's the old one. There's something cool. There's the back of this pad. 82371 has been inspected and they said it was good. Well, sadly, it's not good anymore. There's the finished product. It looks much better than it used to. The only thing is there's that hole in the dash where the radio used to be, but he'll get another one. It's okay. Now we can put in the carpet. The great thing about carpet in these trucks is they're really easy to do. Basically, all you have to do is cut 5 holes in it. So there's a hole on each side, and then for the seat, and then there's one for the dimmer switch. I just put the old carpet on top of the new, got my really sharp razor blade out, and just cut exactly where the holes are. So we should be able to just throw it in, and it should fit really well. But you know how that always goes. It's crazy how it fades like that. Goes from black to nasty poop brown. Alright everybody, It's time to take the Maiden Voyage on this truck. Yes, I know I drove it around the block once, but we're going to go to the gas station and fill it up with gas. Pardon my voice, I've been sick like the last 2 weeks, and that's why work hasn't been getting done on the stuff around here. But as you guys can see, the interior is pretty much done. I have the dash done, carpet's in, the seats bolted in. I haven't put in the door sills yet because I don't know what the owner wants to do when it comes to rust in these rockers. That's the other reason why I'm not putting in the weather stripping, is because really the rocker is the step one, then it's the weather stripping, then it's the door sills. So that won't prevent me from driving it. I have my camera and I have my tool kit just in case I need something. But we're going to poke around under the hood and check some things before we go. Alright, under here we can go ahead and check the coolant. Nice and full, ready to go. We will also check the oil. Looking really good in blue. I actually have an extra quart of oil on the dash just in case I need it, but I don't think that I will. Other than that, I'm sure the brakes are just fine, and we can connect the battery and then start this engine right up. And that right there is completely cold. Haven't touched it at all. Alright, so we have about 4 miles to the gas station. The gas gauge says totally empty. Brakes feel real good. Truck's idling really well. I wish the temperature gauge would work, but I think we'll be okay. I don't see why the cooling system would have any problems. That's new. And a little MG's new. Tires feel flat spotted. Could be the road I'm on though. So the mileage we're at now is 75,358. He's gonna want to know that for how many miles he has before he changes the oil. There's a cow in the road. Someone's not going to be happy when they find out that cow is missing. made it. Alright guys, we made it to the gas station. So that was a good 4-mile drive. So far so good. I don't see any huge major leaks. Let's open the hood and take a look. If I can never do this by myself. I can never open that by myself. There we go. Not seeing anything wrong so far, so I'm going to shut it off, put some gas in it, and then take the ride home. Alright, we put in 10 gallons, $23. So let's see how well this truck starts when it's hot, because it's obviously hot. The gas gauge works a little bit. Alright, so we're going to about more than I thought. Put in 10 gallons. I would assume it's about a 20-gallon tank. There's still some in it. So, I don't know what its capacity is. Let's see how this thing starts when it's hot. Nice. And now we'll drive home. So we've put about 5 miles on it so far. We'll see what we're at when we get home. Alright, there you go. We are about 10 miles farther. We left it 75,358, so pretty close to 10 miles. It's about a 5-mile round trip, but the truck did awesome. Really no hiccups at all. I'm sure the tires are old and nasty, and that would improve the ride, and just a couple little things here and there, but not bad at all for its first real ride since 2012.